Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, and we got an amazing development coming out of the state of Michigan, where patriots are rising up against the draconian gun-grabbing efforts of their far-left governor. And the best part is that it's something that every single county in the nation can do to protect our Second Amendment rights. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's dive right in. This is Holton Township. It's a quaint community located just off the coast of Lake Michigan, but it's quickly placing itself at the center of the growing clash between red counties inside blue states. Holton Township trustees have just voted to designate the township a Second Amendment sanctuary and to create an official government-recognized citizen militia. Here's Holton Township Supervisor Alan Jager explaining precisely why they formed their militia.
Why did it make sense to create a militia in your township?
Well, the problem with these laws are they are taken and they can go to a court almost anywhere and just come after us. We don't even get a chance for a due process. And what we would like to see is, being a militia, we have a right to have the ammunition, the guns needed to protect our town, protect our families. And what we want to do is make sure the due process works. So if they go to court, take your guns away, you can go in and say, I'm in a militia. I need to have these to do the protection that I need to do, and give them a fighting chance to get their guns back through due process. We just feel that, they can target us, and we don't want them to target us.
Is this stemming from conversations that have been brought up by Michigan's governor, Gretchen Whitmer? I mean, clearly this has been an ongoing conversation where people in Michigan have felt, not everybody, but certain people in Michigan have felt like her laws are extreme and that she's trying to infringe on people's individual rights.
Well, that's exactly what they're doing because of the due process issue. They're not only breaking the Second Amendment right by us all being able to have our guns, they're also breaking the Fifth Amendment right by us not having the due process. This is what this is all about. Give us a chance to fight for our guns before you come and take them away. Let me have a lawyer. Let me have people that can represent me. Let me go before a jury of my peers to say, I ain't insane. I might like to have guns. I might own 30 guns, but that don't mean I'm going to use them on anybody. I just want to have, I like guns.
I like guns. I like guns. So do I. So do tens of millions of others. And what I so love about what Holton Township is doing there is they're standing up and saying, and we got a constitutional right to like guns. It's not just that we like guns. It's that we got a constitutional right to like guns. And no self-designated dictator governor is going to take that right away. By the way, for you Patriot business owners out there, you've got to meet my good friend Josh Zaglowski, co-founder of ERC Specialists. He's got an amazing payroll protection company exclusively dedicated to understanding and maximizing what's called the CARES Act Employee Retention Credit. So if you're a small business owner looking to get up to $26,000 per employee back from bumbling Biden, click on that link in the description below to see if you qualify today. It's an absolutely amazing opportunity. Now, getting back to this strategy coming out of Holton Township, it's actually quite brilliant if you get it here. By establishing a local government-recognized militia, a township-approved militia, the members of that militia, which of course could be anyone in the township who wants to join, automatically get the right of due process to protect them from state government overreach, which is of course the whole point of these red flag laws in the first place. The biggest problem with red flag laws is they do away with the right of due process, where the government confiscates your guns without your being able to defend yourself in a court of law. And the irony here is that the Supreme Court has been routinely striking down these laws. We saw it in the latest Bruin decision, where the Supreme Court set the clear standard that a person's constitutional rights are not subordinate to the weaponization of fear and harm and safety. So if your neighbor is concerned about his safety around you, that concern does not trump your constitutional rights. If there's a concern about you owning a weapon, that concern has to be subject to due process. Concerns about what someone might do not trump that person's actual constitutional rights. It seems so patently obvious, but when you're dealing with hardcore libs who hate the Constitution, well, then, this is when you need a conservative judiciary to defend those rights like we have in the Supreme Court. And as it turns out, is when you need a concerned citizenry to defend those rights at the local level. And this has been a real issue of late, just like we recently saw in New York, which tried to inordinately restrict gun ownership. That's what led to the Bruen decision. Or what we saw most recently in New Mexico. You remember that? That wacko governor, Michelle Grisham, who actually tried to ban guns under the guise of public health, right? You see it? Notice it, right? When it comes to these woke leftists, give them an inch, right? In this case, public health, public safety, give them an inch, and they'll always take a mile. Now give me your guns, right? The good news was that this New Mexico governor got so much pushback from both Democrats and Republicans, and she ended up having to revoke her ridiculous executive order. Not to mention, it also got struck down by a judge. So what Holton Township in Michigan is doing is they're putting teeth to their Second Amendment sanctuary designation. They're creating a local government-approved militia so as to provide a legal shield for all the members of that militia from the gun-grabbing shenanigans coming from their lunatic governor. And this is obviously something that can be duplicated all across the nation. If you don't know, Second Amendment sanctuaries, right? These are where counties promise safe havens for gun owners, with law enforcement officials promising to protect rather than violate their Second Amendment rights. Second Amendment sanctuaries have been absolutely exploding across the nation, such that today the vast majority of all counties in the country have officially designated themselves Second Amendment sanctuaries. 2,000 of the just over 3,000 counties have designated themselves officially pro-gun counties. In addition, you also have countless sheriffs across the nation having pledged to uphold the Second Amendment, like we saw in New Mexico, or every single sheriff in the state of Utah, interestingly enough. And local Patriot Militias are also growing just as fast. Membership has been surging in the last decade. Today, there are over 500 militia groups in the United States, more than double that number back in 2008. And so we can see these two dynamics coming together in a very creative and brilliant way here. By forming their own local government-recognized militia, the township actually grants its citizens formally the right of due process secured by virtue of their Second Amendment sanctuary status. So obviously keep an eye on how things develop here. But it does look like this small, quiet town in Michigan just made some serious noise across the nation for Second Amendment rights. Are you ready to join the resistance? Because I'm leading a group of dedicated, courageous patriots who can lead a spearhead into the heart of the secular globalist establishment. We punished Bud Light and Target, driven CNN and the legacy media to near bankruptcy, forced BlackRock to backtrack on ESG, and now we're seeing our conservative-dominated Supreme Court ending affirmative action and protecting religious liberty. In my Insiders Club, I show you concrete steps to take locally and online that will only keep this mass uprising going until the battle is won. Don't wait. Click the link in my description below and join my Courageous Patriots Insiders Club today.